Today, we're going to be testing cheap versus expensive airsoft guns, ranging all the way from this cheap plastic shotgun to this limited edition run 1911. Let's get into it.
First up, we have the Double Eagle M401 pump action shotgun.
This thing comes in at $29.99. Initially, I can tell that it's really cheap. I mean, the thing weighs less than 100 grams. It's just full plastic. It seems to have these weird sort of scratches out of the box. I don't know if this is from just testing before they ship it out, but it's obviously, you know, the paint is scratching fairly easily, which isn't a good sign. The barrel down here, no, you can't screw that off. You can't screw that off. It's got no iron sights, but it's just got this little rail up top, so I guess you could put a scope or attachment or red dot or whatever on top. Oh, it's one of these magazines, so this is one of the ones that you can only load with a speed loader. Okay. I believe these hold like 15 to 20 BBs or something like that. Oh, looks like it's got a safety. So if I pump it, let's see. Okay, that's the trigger. That didn't feel bad at all. And the safety does work. It's blocking the trigger. I can still pump it. Okay, that's a nice trigger. I like that. And then it also looks like it has a little hop up here. So we'll definitely test that and see if that works as well.
Alrighty, so I got my chronograph up. For all shooting tests today, we're going to be using 0.2 gram BBs. Let's see if this thing even shoots. Okay. So we've got 330 feet per second with 1.02 joules. That is more impressive than I was expecting. That is fast. Oh. 334. 333.9. 330.8. 333 with 1.03 joules. So super consistent. Every single reading was within 10 FPS of each other, between 330 and 340. And that's a lot of FPS. That is powerful for a 30-pound spring shotgun. But is it accurate? Let's see. So it's got no stock, so it's a bit awkward to shoot. I mean, I could shoot it one-handed like a pistol. Oh my God. Wow. I wasn't even half looking. That hit exactly on the target. If you can't tell, I'm shooting that little black magnetic target up there, which is super old, and I'm about 10 meters away, where I could sort of like shoulder fire it like this. That went way off. Wow, it's shooting so fast that when the BBs connect, they are completely shattering. And let's just test that safety works one more time. It does. Okay, so if I really try, if you look down the sights, it goes exactly where you're looking. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really impressed. That's got some really good accuracy. Let's see if the hop up works. Okay. Empty. Not really. I would say the BBs were still going where the hop up was going, but I mean, for 30 pounds, that's got a lot of power and it's super accurate. It's shooting exactly where I'm looking. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really impressed with this one. Next up is the STTI S23. It comes in at $59.99. So a little bit of a step up from the last one. It's a gas pistol. However, I think it's non-blowback. I think I've been getting all these guns for a while in preparation for this video, so some of them have been bought in different time periods, hence why they're all different colors and things like that, because I was in the process of getting my UCARA at the same time. But I don't really remember much about this one. I thought it was supposed to come with a suppressor, but it didn't. So slightly confused on that. I think it was a barrel extension. Part of the reason why I bought it, because it looked interesting, but we haven't got it here today. So I think it's non-blowback, although the slide does seem to move. Not very smoothly, might I say. Oh, and it seems to just sort of stay in this position. I don't think it blows back when you shoot it, but we'll find out. Obviously, you got the thread there for a suppressor. It's very big. I think it's based off maybe the USP. Like I said, it seems to have a slide catch, but the slide doesn't even come back that far. You've got a safety. We'll test if that works. That feels all right. You've got some iron sights. I'm not sure if you can see. They look all right. You've got a rail underneath for attachments. You got a decent sort of stippling grip, which actually feels quite nice. A trigger, let's see. There's nothing loaded, of course. Okay. Yeah, that's a heavy trigger. That does not feel great. You can see it's double action. That hammer's coming back each time. It does have a single action, although the trigger is still just as heavy. You've got magazine release down here, which is weird. I don't like this because every time I slam the magazine in, my fingers always catch and it hurts. But you seem to have a double stack gas magazine. All of these guns has never been fired. So in the lower price point, I'm a bit scared about the gas ones, but let's give this a go. Oh boy. Not sure if you can hear that. Probably can, it's quite loud, but we've got a slight leak. So I'm still gonna use it. That's annoying that it's leaking. When you turn it down, it's leaking a hell of a lot more. So take that into account, but we'll just try and film the shooting parts as quick as possible. Super annoying with these gas magazines. Alrighty, same thing with the chronograph test. You can probably hear it leaking. Let's see what we get. Oh, I don't like that trigger. Okay, it's not reading. Okay, we've got 311 with 0.9 joules. Not reading again. Or again. 314.6 with 0.9. Ooh, I hate this trigger. 311 again. 313. 316. 315. Okay, so even though it's leaking gas, it's not leaking that fast because it still seems to be fairly consistent. I'm surprised. So over 300 FPS with just under 1 joule. Pretty standard for a gas pistol. However, it is non-blowback, so some of the gas isn't going to the slide motion. As you can see, it's not moving, so it's not as cool. It's not as realistic. But it should have a bit more gas efficiency, and it should also have a bit higher FPS because of that. But about what you would expect really for this price range. Let's see, does the safety work? That's the question. Oh, okay. Okay, so it needs to be in single action for the safety to work. Okay. Does it work though? It does. It's got some rattles though. It's a heavy gun. It is, honestly, I don't actually know what it's made of. It's obviously got some metal parts, but I think this slide is polymer. It's not metal for sure. But I'm going to refill the gas now. Let's see what it's like in terms of accuracy. Okie dokie. So when you pull the slide back, it does go into single action, which is nice. Let's see, can you see? Okay. Oh, not firing. Okay, it fired. Oh. Okay, so they are all hitting. Let me try to look down the sights. yeah, so it does go, if you look down the iron sights, it goes exactly where you're looking. It doesn't have a hop up, which is a little bit annoying, so shooting this at ranges, you are going to struggle for sure. I scooted up a little bit further back. Not even sure if you guys can see it anymore, but at this distance, which is about 15 meters, maybe even pushing 20, you could still easily hit a human-sized target. So for a sidearm, I'd say that's pretty good. The only thing is, it's quite big, and I'm not sure how durable it would be if you dropped it, because it's mostly made of polymer. But yeah. So as I've started to use it a little bit further, I've realized that it is actually quite clunky. There's a lot of parts that are just like slightly moving, and it's super annoying. Every time I load this magazine, it is catching my fingers, which hurts. It's big, it's heavy, but it is quiet. As you can tell, that's got no BBs in. So it's quite quiet, which I like, because if you had the suppressor on, it'd be awesome. It's big, but you know that when you're buying it. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and say that if you guys are buying the ST23, I know that there's loads of models of the USPs out there. Maybe this isn't the best one, but if you were to get the suppressor on and a non-leaky magazine for £60, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So stepping up slightly, the next one is another pistol. This is the Elite Force H8R CO2 revolver. This was the cheapest revolver I could find at the time of buying. It comes in at £70. Initial impressions is that I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. I think it has this almost futuristic style look. It's got rails on the underneath, it's got rails on the top. It's got, you know, your classic cylinder, hammer, trigger, you know, boring double action or simple single action, which feels quite nice. You've got some iron sights, which are sort of glow in the dark iron sights, which could help in low light situations, of course. You got a nice little grip, and if you press this little button, this magazine should slide out. It holds 8 BBs. The box came with 3 of these, so you got 3. But I mean, even if you load all 3 up, you've got what, 24 BBs, and that's it, before you have to meticulously load each one of these again. So in terms of whether it's very viable on the field, I mean, I feel like people know this already with revolvers. Probably not so much, more of either a collector's item or like a show-off item. And then of course, because it's CO2, I know this from all my air pistols, you've got the little grip here, which just slides off like so. That's where your 12-gram CO2 capsule goes in. Airsoft guys, make sure to protect the seals. You use some silicone oil in there if you're using a CO2 pistol. But I'm expecting big things from this because it's non-blowback and it's CO2, which is more powerful. So I'm expecting a higher FPS reading. But let's see what we get. So the CO2 just pops in there like so, and then you're going to use the handle to tighten it until you hear it pierce. So no leaking there, which is nice. So it doesn't seem to have a safety, which is a little bit annoying, but let's do the chronograph test with 0.2 gram BBs once again. Like I said, I'm expecting good results from this, seeing as it's CO2. Let's see, what do we get? Oh, 267 with 0.66 joules. Didn't read. 264.9 with 0.65 joules. 266.6 with 0.66 joules. 271.4 with 0.68. And last shot. Oh, 341 or 340, sorry. That's a bit weird, not very consistent. Let's see. Back to 266. 265. Okay, so it looks like that was a fluke. It's just sitting around 260 FPS, which is not very good. I mean, it's CO2, it should have more power, you know, and it's non-blowback too. So I was expecting more, so a little bit disappointing in terms of FPS, but can it make up for it in accuracy? Okay, let's see. Shooting at 10 meters away, our target. Right. Oh, that's because I didn't lock this. My fault, my fault. All right. There we go. Okay, not the best. I will say that reloading this is a pain in the arse. Okay, again, no hop up, but they do seem to be going where I'm aiming. Let's scoot back a little bit. Now back at 20 meters. This thing is not accurate. I mean, it's good to a certain point, but once I scooted back to 20 meters, I could just see that they were swerving left or right, and there's no hop up adjuster, so they're either going left or right, up or down or whatever, and I can't seem to change it. So hitting a human-sized target is virtually going to be hit or miss, which is tricky. Obviously, this wouldn't be something that you'd want to take on the field. It's a pain to reload. It's not got much FPS, and it's not that accurate. I reckon it looks pretty cool though. You could put a sight on it, a laser or something, and make it look pretty cool, but I don't think it's really functional. For 70 pounds though, I mean, it's all right. The CO2 probably lasts for hundreds of shots, which is nice, but overall, I'm gonna have to give this a 2 out of 5, I'm afraid. Before we move on to the next rifle, guys, I just want to say, if you could hit the subscribe button, it really would mean the world to me. I started this channel just a few months ago, and we've already hit 1,000 subscribers in just a few videos, and I'm so grateful. My goal is just to bring you guys the highest quality entertainment that I possibly can with my resources available. So if you could hit the subscribe button, it will help me make more videos, higher quality videos coming in the future, and I'd really appreciate it. So thank you. Next up, we have, stepping it up again in price point, coming in at £100, is the SEMA 507 M4 AEG. So this is an electric airsoft rifle. Initial impressions is that it's super light. I can hold it with one hand with no problem, which is beneficial if you're running around with it on the field, but maybe not so much in terms of realism. Its build is almost entirely plastic. I mean, you can tell that all of this is plastic. Maybe the outer barrel is metal. It comes with a sling, which is pretty cool. It comes with this sort of attachment iron sight rail thing, which you can obviously remove, and then that will just reveal a rail underneath for a scope or whatever. However, I would say it's pretty much impossible to see through that hole. I don't know who they're fooling with that. The hop up can either be adjusted from the rail attachment here up top, which is nice, or of course through the dust cover as usual. And your safe, semi and auto, so we'll be testing the rate of fire on this, of course. I would say the safety doesn't feel that sure, but it's fine. Standard grip and standard trigger, of course. So yeah, let's get a battery in this thing and see how it performs. And it also comes with some cheap plasticky high cap magazine. Not a fan of high caps. I prefer not to be fiddling with the magazine every 2 seconds, but they do store about 300 BBs, which is cool. So we use this for the video, see how it holds up. So overall, not too impressed with the build quality, mostly just plastic, but I wouldn't really expect too much at this price point. So let's give it a chrono test and see how it goes. So we've got a solid, consistent average
of around 350 feet per second with 1.1 joules, which is what I would expect. That's great. And an okay rounds per second, 11.7. That's all right.
10 meters, it's not going to struggle, but let's see. Great. Let's scoot back to 30 meters and see if we can get similar results. So the target is all the way over there at 30 meters. Let's see if we can still hit it. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with this rifle. It can easily hit a human-sized target, probably all the way up to sort of 50 meters. Unfortunately, I don't have that much space. It's got decent FPS and it's got decent rounds per second. I mean, nothing spectacular, but it's all right. So for the price point, I'm going to say absolutely it's worth it. You could definitely take this on the field and have a good game with it. I'm going to give it an overall 4 out of 5 stars. Next up is the Vorsk VPX. This is a gas blowback pistol, and the price on this one is a little bit confusing because everywhere I looked it came in at different prices, but the normal price I could usually see was around 150 to 160 pounds. So it's in this super nice brushed aluminium finish, which I think looks awesome. They have a lot of finish options. This particular one does come with a red dot sight, that's why it's so expensive, but you can normally find this without a red dot sight for quite a bit cheaper. Whether I think that's worth it, not really, but the red dot sight is cool. It looks cool, it functions well. It's also got this cool little compensator on the end, which I will say I'm a bit unhappy. It's a little bit wiggly, feels a bit flimsy, which is annoying. You've got glow in the dark sort of sights, and you can also co-witness the red dot sight, which is pretty nice. And then other than that, it's just a basic 1911. It takes normal 1911 style magazines, which obviously don't hold much gas, which is a little bit annoying. You got all your sort of safeties and stuff, which is all functional. Let's see how it goes in the shooting test. Okie dokie. Chrono time with 0.2 gram BBs as always. Whoa, that is a strong recoil. That is a lot of blowback. But yeah, we have 331.3 FPS with 1 joule. Oh, the safety's not really triggering. This is annoying. Okay, so what happens is as the slide blows back, the safety somehow gets engaged with your thumb. I don't know. Maybe my hands are too big and that stops it from firing, which is super annoying. But anyways, back to the chrono test. That recoil is so strong, and that's a really loud gun. We got 328.3, 328.3, 331.4, 334, and 324.9. So fairly consistent, high FPS. That's what you want. That's what I would expect from a pistol within this price range. Alrighty, so 10 meter shooting test. Let's see. Yep, no problem. The recoil, man, it's really strong with this gun. I like the feel of it. Scoot back to 20 meters. Okay, so it's struggling a little bit more at 20 meters. I was looking down the sights as well, and they weren't really going at all where I was looking. So that's not great, but I mean, the blowback is strong. Locks open after the last shot, of course, which is nice. The gas lasted for a whole magazine. I doubt it would last for much more. Overall, I'm a little bit disappointed with the VPX. I mean, it looks nice, the blowback is super strong, it sounds nice, but the parts are a little bit flimsy, the accuracy isn't great. I would say that the accuracy in the previous pistols were probably a little bit better than this, and this is, you know, double the price. So it's good, and obviously it's a 1911 style magazine, so it's not going to last very long in the field. If you like the way it looks, definitely go for it, but otherwise I'd give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, we have the Delta Armory DA AR-15. This is an electric assault rifle, and it comes in at about £220. So big step up from the last one in terms of price. And compared to that last rifle, I mean, the quality feels so much better. You've got full either metal or high quality polymer externals, the rails metal, the stock nice, adjustable, the butt pad at the back. The butt pad at the back is super comfy. Again, you've got all the sort of fake charging handles, you've got dust covers, obviously no hop up in there. So I'm going to be honest, I'm not an expert when it comes to hop ups, so I'm not too sure how to adjust this one, but we'll see. Obviously a nice, perfect, sure, safe semi-auto. Nice grip, trigger looks super nice, and it's a flat trigger as well, which is awesome. Flip up iron sights as well. And the muzzle brake is also removable, so you can fit suppressors or tracer units on as you'd like. Nice Delta Armory logos. And it comes with a super nice 120 round mid-cap magazine, so I'm happy about that. So let's hook a battery up to this thing and see how it does in the chrono test. .324 with 0.98 joules, 322 with 0.97, 321, 323, 319, 322, 323, and 320. So in the chrono you've got pretty consistent results. I mean, the other rifle was higher than this, but you wouldn't really want feet per second higher than this, because if you wanted to play with it in most fields, this is going to be sort of the limit. So honestly, that's fine. I'm impressed with the build quality, impressed with the FPS. Now let's see how fast it can fire. Obviously these are 0.2 gram BBs, and I'm using the exact same battery as I did for the last rifle to try and keep it fair. Okay, so we got 12.3. Honestly, I would probably expect a little bit more than that, if I'm being honest. I'm a bit disappointed. So honestly, I'm impressed with the build quality. I think it looks a very nice rifle. I'm not too impressed with the RPS or the FPS, to be honest. But what really matters is the accuracy. So let's see how it goes. Those BBs are flying all the way up. Let me know down in the comments how to adjust this hop up, because those BBs were flying way above the target. And I skipped straight to the 30-meter test because I knew that it could handle it basically. And it had a decent grouping. Accuracy is good. RPS is all right. FPS is all right. Build quality is nice. It feels good. It's nice and heavy. You could definitely use this out in the field in a game. So I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars for the money. And for the second to last gun, we actually have an Airsoft sniper. So this guy is the Snowwolf M24, and he comes in at $289.99. It is a bolt action spring Airsoft sniper. It's got some very basic features. When it came in the box, I honestly wasn't that impressed. It came in just some polystyrene packaging, which just looked awful for the price point, and the gun was completely apart. You had to put it together yourself, which was a little bit annoying. But it's just got basic features. You know, it's got a stock, it's got a little adjustable piece at the back, it's got sling points down here, you know, the bolt, it's got a safety, it's got a hop up at the front here. It's a bit of a weird hop up, I've never seen one of these before, but of course we'll be testing that as well. It's got a super long barrel and a rail for a scope. I've actually never shot an airsoft sniper before, so this is going to be interesting. Obviously I have lots of air rifles, so I'm used to shooting things like this, but let's see if it is on the same sort of caliber. It's got this little plasticky magazine that holds, I don't even know how many BBs, but it looks weird. I haven't seen one of these in a while. And we're going to be doing the chronograph test with .20s once again, although in the shooting test I might use slightly heavier BBs. In general, the design doesn't look overly impressive. I would expect a little bit more at this price point. It feels solid though, like if you were to drop it, I think it would be okay. That said, I can't be sure. I'm expecting big things from it in terms of FPS. Let's have a look. .20's loaded up. I'm expecting, honestly, I'm expecting 450 FPS minimum from this thing. So let's see. Okay, it's quiet, but we got 405 with 1.52 joules. See if it's consistent. $415. 428 with 1.7 joules. 412 and 396. So we got 5 readings ranging from 396 up to 428. So about a 30 FPS range. So not the most consistent and also not the highest FPS. I mean, it's pushing 400s, but honestly, I would expect 450 from this. Let me know if that's crazy, guys. Let's put a scope on this thing and see if it can actually have a decent chance in the accuracy test at some longer distances. Alrighty, so set the camera up on the target. I'm going to scoot back to 35 meters, which is as far as I can go. And we're going to see if we can consistently land accurate points on target. Let's see.
So basically what had happened here was I'd scooted all the way back the furthest distance that I could. I'd loaded the rifle up with some 0.4 gram BBs, adjusted the hop up as needed, and the BBs were just veering all the way off to the left with almost every shot, and I couldn't account for it. And they were getting too close to hitting the camera, so I just decided to leave it and scoot up a little bit closer.
So the overall accuracy of this thing is not very good at all. I had to scoot all the way up to just 20 meters to hit some accurate shots on target. Otherwise, any further back, I had no winds and the BBs were just veering off all the way to the left, which is obviously not what you want. You can't hit a human-sized target at that range. I don't know if something's up with the gun in specific or whatever, but that's obviously not what you want for a sniper. That being said, I did have a lot of fun when shooting it. The bolt action is very fun. Overall, 1.5 stars. And here it is. The most expensive airsoft gun of today's video. This is the G&G Armament D-Day 1911. This is a limited edition run pistol, and it comes in at £380. It comes in this awesome box with all information about the Normandy landings on it. It's got these exclusive non-functional 45 ACP shots in it. Of course, this is in memory of D-Day, which was on June the 6th, 1944. So it has all sorts of arts and detailing on it. You can even see the other side here as well. You've got those beautiful wooden grips. I believe that this is a limited edition run, which is, I can't remember how many they'd make, somewhere between 800 and 1200 they made. So this is a super rare pistol, only likely to go up in price, of course. But other than that, it is airsoft. It's not real, even though it's got some bullets in there. It's not real, and we're gonna see if this thing can perform. I mean, just take a look at this design. The silver, the gold, the wood, super flashy. You can even take it apart as well, it's field strippable. But other than that, it has all the normal parts that are 1911 would. Obviously your hammer, your grip safety, your safety. Even the magazine is gold as well, guys. Alright, before I chronograph this thing, I just want to give it a little shoot. So I'm going to give you guys a feel of what it's like to shoot this thing. Let's see. Ooh, that's got a strong blowback. That is one thing with 1911 magazines, they run out of gas super quick. But there you go. That is the D-Day 1911. Let's chrono this thing. Obviously it's a gas blowback pistol, so use 0.2 gram BBs as we've been doing, and let's see what kind of speeds this thing's shooting at. Obviously all the parts on it are functional. The safety, the rear safety, the lock open, all of this is functional. Let's chrono this thing then. First shot is 263.9 with 0.65 joules. Interesting. 263 again. 245.5. Oh. Oops. My bad, guys. Forgot to refill it. Alright. Refilled the mag. Let's try this again, shall we? With a full tank of gas. 295. Wait, let me go onto the screen. 295.6 with 0.81 joules. 289, 279, 278, 273, 272, 270. Yeah, so just going down basically, but starting at almost 300 feet per second, which is good. I mean, it's not peak for a gas blowback pistol, but it's good. You're not buying this thing for its speed, you know? You're buying it for how beautiful it looks. So that's fine by me. Let's check out the accuracy at 10 meters. No problem at all. And it goes exactly where you're looking if you look down the iron sights, out the box as well, which is perfect. Let's scoot back a little bit. Scoot back to 20 meters. Let's see if it runs into any troubles. I mean, they're a little bit spontaneous. They are going a bit every which way, but for the most part, they were hitting the target. Overall, I give the G&G D-Day 1911 a 5 out of 5 stars. I love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really enjoyed this video. Hope you guys did too. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. That'll support me, help me make further videos, and next time I can get even more expensive guns on the channel. Thanks for watching.